All right, let's get a quick sound check and then we will go live. Bear with me just one moment, guys. Let's get a quick sound check. All right, that was loud and clear, so we should be good to go. All right, here we are. So it's been a while since I made a video, any content of any kind for you guys, so I do apologize for that. It is for good reason. I've been very busy at work. I've been busy with Crypto Answers, making content for that channel. If you haven't visited it yet or subscribed, I would recommend it. Just go to search Crypto Answers in YouTube. It'll take you right to it. You can subscribe, and that'll keep you up to date on most everything I'm doing these days. It is rare that I post anything on this channel. The stream we're doing right now, it's just going to be kind of a short stream until I do the real stream on the other channel here in a little bit. But I wanted to go over a few things that really caught my attention over the last couple days, most notably Vertcoin. I'll go ahead and bring up that chart here. Um, so Vertcoin is a pretty interesting coin. It's been around since 2014. So going on 3.5 years or so now, and it's been pretty viable all along. It brings a lot of things to the table that Bitcoin does not, and I think is very, very promising moving forward. Now, what we're looking at here is the last week. This is the 15-minute chart over the last week, and as you can see, it's been going steadily up. Now, there was this insane uptick right here. This was a few days ago, and I think the cause for that was there was a lot of hype surrounding Vertcoin there for a while. I was seeing a lot of the main YouTubers post videos on it and commentary in their live streams, yada yada yada. And what do you know? The price shot up. So I'm sure they made a little bit of money off of that. Then it sold off. It sold off to below the 200-day moving average. This blue line that you see plotted here, that is the 200-day moving average. So we're trading pretty close to it. So I would say that this is healthy growth for Vertcoin. And now we've pretty much found support. We're level off at the 200-day moving average. And as you can see, we continue to make not new highs, but the lows are higher, meaning we bounced off of this point here at about 286. We went up to about 355, and then our low was higher, right? Then we went up again, and now bam, our low was again higher. So now we've started basically wave number 5 here. If you can count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think we could probably run up to close to $4 here, really without much difficulty at all, and that would complete the fifth wave of our Elliott wave. That's a pretty common formation that we see not only in crypto markets but in forex and stocks and pretty much any market that you can trade in. You'll see this common formation called an Elliott wave, and it represents very deep psychology embedded into the markets. So more than likely, we're going to see this fifth wave culminate, and typically after that, it does sell off, probably about 40%, wherever it peaks. What from here to the top of the wave, it'll probably sell off to about 40%, whatever that difference is between the bottom and the peak. Sell off 40% before climbing higher. That's what I'm anticipating here. And I did go ahead and initiate a new position. It is a small position. This is just kind of experimental. About like 100 Vertcoin, which is like 350 bucks or something. Nothing substantial, but I think there is a little bit of money to be made here short term, and I'm pretty confident long term as well. And let's discuss why. So here is the Vertcoin Twitter page, and there's a lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting developments. This got my attention. This is absolutely awesome. Vertcoin is now available on the Ledger Nano S and Ledger Blue. The reason why this is so significant is because that cold storage system, it doesn't hold many coins. It's only, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's only the very mainstream coins. I want to say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, and maybe one other, and now Vertcoin. So, I mean, Ledger is putting Vertcoin almost on the level with Bitcoin and Ethereum by making it storable in their system. So that is crucial. That's awesome, and I'm very excited. I think this is going to lead to greater adoption for Vertcoin moving forward. But let's look at some of these other things. This is a very recent tweet here, 5 hours ago. It says the Vertcoin Electron Tor wallet is now available, and there's a link to it here if you want to download it. It seems like the Vertcoin development team is very, very active. There have been a lot of new developments coming, a lot of new announcements made revolving around Vertcoin here in the recent past, and this one is very, very interesting. It's going to have um, its own wallet, and it does use a Tor, right? So Tor is an onion router, and basically your transactions go through the onion router, and it mixes them up, and then um, all the transactions happen at once. And what that does is it makes your transaction anonymous, right? So Vertcoin is a privacy coin. That makes it pretty much in competition with things like Dash, Zcash, Monero. Um, what else do we have here? A lot of the top coins are privacy coins, even Ethereum. They just instituted, what was it called? ZK snarks, right? Zero knowledge proofs. And that was designed to give Ethereum a privacy element. It has not been mastered yet. The gas cost of those private transactions is very, very high. So it's not mainstream on Ethereum at all, but that's their goal. It is at least in action there. So anyways, I mean, one, two, three, four. I mean, four of the top 10 coins are privacy coins. And that is, I mean, that's probably the most important subsect of cryptocurrencies, in my opinion. That's most people that use Bitcoin now use it because they think it is completely anonymous and completely secure. What they don't realize is that the IRS and probably other entities have developed technology in conjunction with a company called Chainalysis to where they can actually track Bitcoin transactions. And if they can track Bitcoin transactions, they can track anything else that doesn't use a Tor client, right? So Digital Cash, Zcash, Monero, and now Vertcoin, they all have very intricate private systems that allow you to conduct private transactions, and that makes Vertcoin very much relevant today and moving forward. Let's see what else we have here. Some of this is just, random shout outs. I thought there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, it was the atomic swaps, right? So I think it was a couple months ago. I don't see where the announcement was made on their channel. But let's move over here. It talks about atomic swaps and how they will change cryptocurrency forever. It was, I think it was a couple months back. This isn't really new news for Vertcoin, but there was an atomic swap done between Vertcoin and Litecoin. And basically what that means, the theory behind an atomic swap is the ability to trade one cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency completely peer-to-peer without the need for any exchange whatsoever. Now, before atomic swaps, that was completely impossible. Each blockchain could only function, what's the word I'm looking for? Autonomously. It can only function with its own blockchain. But now you're actually able to make cross-chain swaps or atomic swaps, and this is going to be revolutionary for blockchain, honestly. It's made possible by the Lightning Network and a couple other things, but and this is something that Bitcoin actually does not have yet. This is only valid on some of the altcoins, so it's pretty interesting and pretty significant. I'll go ahead and read you uh, one or two of these paragraphs because they are very important. So here we go. This technological feature in question is known as an atomic swap. In some circles, it is also known as atomic cross-chain trading, but it means exactly the same thing. The concept of atomic swaps is not all that new, as it was first introduced back in 2013. It has taken some time until cryptocurrency developers found a way to make this concept become a reality, but it appears the Lightning Network will grant us this power. An atomic swap works in the same way users would send funds to one another, but there are some major differences. More specifically, it allows users to cross-trade different cryptocurrencies without relying on centralized parties. If user A has Bitcoin and user B wants Ethereum Classic, for example, they can agree to a fixed trading price and complete the transaction immediately. One might argue using an atomic swap would require a certain degree of trust, but that is not the case. Every atomic swap uses a hashed time-locked contract, which is a part of the scripting language used for most major cryptocurrencies in existence right now. Both parties submit their individual transaction to the appropriate blockchain. User A sends Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain, user B sends Ethereum Classic on the Ethereum Classic chain, and the recipient can only claim his transaction by revealing a secret number. So it is completely secure. It is private thanks to Vertcoin's underlying privacy network, and it's amazing because you don't need Coinbase, for example. That's the exchange that I use because I live in North America. I live in the United States, and really it's the only one that we can practically use because of all of the litigation that the United States is trying to cast on all the other exchanges, and they don't want to mess with it. So more and more exchanges are folding and just saying basically, we're not going to support U.S. citizens. I'm sorry, take your money elsewhere. But now we don't have to worry about it if atomic swaps go mainstream and the technology is fully formulated. Um, it also will save a lot of money on fees because you don't have to, pay the 1.5% spread or whatever when you're using an exchange. You just do the atomic swap. You agree on a price with someone else somewhere in the world, and bam, there's no fee, there's no spread. It's just you exchanging your currency for their currency, cross blockchain swap. Absolutely amazing. So I think that may have been, yeah, that was all I was really planning to talk about for Vertcoin. I do see it promising near term, probably at least upwards towards $4. After that, I'm not completely convinced what's going to happen, but I'm pretty positive about the $4 mark. Um, I think we can probably look at this 200-day moving average providing a little bit of support at this point, seeing as we've been trading pretty close to it up until now. So we'll just have to see what happens. But let's go ahead and move on to some other news and talk about the broader market. Um, Bitcoin is almost up to its previous high again, trading just under $5,900. One interesting thing about this is even as Bitcoin continues to set new all-time highs, the overall market cap actually has not reached the previous max. Back when Bitcoin almost hit $5,000 for the very first time, when we set that high back in, that was September 1st, I believe. That was September 1st. The overall market cap was $178 billion and change. Right now we're at 170 billion US dollars for the overall market, and Bitcoin is not even at its all-time high right now, or it's close to it, but it's well above the $5,000 mark that it was at before. So anyways, Bitcoin essentially has stolen a lot of market share from the rest of these coins. We saw quite a collapse in the price of altcoins as Bitcoin ran up pre-Bitcoin Gold. And what we were expecting is a massive collapse in the price of Bitcoin and the altcoins to spring up like we had never seen before, right? I actually wrote an article on it. I'll go ahead and bring that up here really quick. Posted it at cryptoanswers.net. It's probably a couple articles back. Oh, there we go. Bitcoin dominance near 60%. Altcoins to rebound vengefully in Bitcoin Gold's wake. This article got a pretty good reception. It was shared 41 times just from our homepage alone. But we talked about basically what I just said. How Bitcoin was going to collapse, altcoins were going to rise from the dead. And the funny thing is, it happened, but it only happened for less than 24 hours. I mean, as soon as the snapshot was taken and that news got out, there's an immediate uptick, like we're talking double digits for altcoins, but then they started selling off again. Let's look at IOTA, for example. So here you go. This was right after the Bitcoin Gold announcement, right? So today is the 26th of October. Bitcoin Gold snapshot was taken late on the 23rd. And then, bam, there's this uptick. We went all the way from 37 cents to almost 50 cents, but now it's been selling off and we're back down to 40 cents per IOTA. So I didn't expect this at all. I also expected there to be a bigger retracement in the price of Bitcoin because there's still a lot of uncertainty. There is no replay protection for Bitcoin Gold. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, the SegWit 2x hard fork coming up here in November, and there's just too many forks, too much uncertainty right now, specifically with Bitcoin. And I cannot believe that people just don't care and they're still buying Bitcoin. It's hard to believe. But then again, there really hasn't been any FUD in the recent news, so maybe that's why people have already forgotten China. And even though people similar to Jamie Dimon have been coming forward and saying, you know what, I think Bitcoin is a scam, blah, 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 no one cares anymore. No one really listens to them. So those figureheads are becoming less and less relevant. Let's see what else we can find here for headlines. All right, so Bitcoin ABC. I was looking into this. I wanted to make a video specifically on Bitcoin ABC. My understanding, which was not correct initially before I had done the research, was that Bitcoin ABC was going to be another hard fork, and there would be yet another Bitcoin currency called Bitcoin ABC. That's actually not the case, and all Bitcoin ABC is essentially is software that will facilitate a hard fork in the future to increase Bitcoin's block size limit. I don't even have a date. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I don't think Bitcoin ABC is going to be a new currency in and of itself. Bitcoin ABC is just the technology, and it stands for adjustable block size cap. So it is pretty interesting if you want to continue to do some research on that. But as soon as I found out that it wasn't going to be a new independent currency, I just kind of dropped it and put it off to the side. Let's move on. Talking about Ripple. So do I still have that up? Yes, I do. All right, so there was this massive run-up in the price of Ripple leading up to the Swell convention over the past, what was that, the 20, over like the week or two leading up to the convention, there was a massive run-up because people were excited. They thought some big announcement was going to come out, like, hey, the Federal Reserve um, is adopting Ripple. It's going to start using it for everything. All the big banks in the world are going to adopt it. I mean, Ben Bernanke spoke there. I'm sure people were expecting something big to come out of it, but it didn't. It was a very professional meeting. They just discussed technical things, and it wasn't a fluff and hype event, which it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been, and I think they did the right thing by just sorting out things that needed to be sorted out to move forward, and then we moved on. But since there was no very exciting announcements coming out of it, we sold off from 30 cents the day of the convention to where we are now at 20 cents. I mean, man, we were 50% higher on that day than we are now. So that's a pretty big sell-off, and nothing bad happened. That's how much hype was surrounding the Swell convention, and now it's sold off. So the price of Ripple is pretty attractive now at 20 cents. I was hoping it would get back down to 16 cents. That was going to be my buy-in target, or at least I think there's going to be a lot of support right in here at 17 cents. So somewhere around in there is where I was going to buy in at. It got almost down to 18, and then it found a support, and now it's trading very, very flat, right around the 20-cent mark, and I don't see it selling off below that anytime in the near future. But Ripple is a solid project. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it at all, but there are now more than 100 banks around the world that have been using it to conduct worldwide, what's the word? Worldwide transactions. Let's just leave it at that. And that number continues to grow. So Ripple is a very, very promising project, although here's one thing I did find, and that is a new coin called Settlecoin. All right. Now, I haven't done my research on this, not any in-depth research enough to really talk about it with confidence, but I'm going to do a lot more research, and I'm going to make a video specifically on this, and it will be posted on the Crypto Answers branded channel. Now, this coin, this ICO is going to be conducted and completely owned and controlled by Goldman Sachs. So that's good and bad. That's good because Goldman Sachs is a big name. It's going to earn a lot of respect and contribute a lot of validity to Settlecoin. So maybe there will be some money to be made by buying it off the ICO. However, it's bad because Goldman Sachs is a very large bank, and The whole reason cryptocurrencies came about is so we could get away from the too big to fail banks that are controlling the world essentially. And now the banks are just basically slapping us in the face, turning around, stealing the blockchain technology, using it for themselves to accomplish probably the exact same thing they've been doing all along. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. It is an interesting prospect. I'm going to do more research and I'll let you guys know. I just wanted to bring it briefly to your attention because the only reason why I haven't gone all in on Ripple, I think it's a promising, growing project and there's money to be made with Ripple short term. But I'm worried long term that maybe Settlecoin will present a challenge or some serious competition. I'm really not sure. What else? What else did I want to talk about? Okay, I'll mention this briefly, and this will be it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just started using a mining software called NiceHash Miner. It's very, very simple to use and set up. The reason why I think this is interesting is not because it's profitable. I just downloaded it yesterday, and I just used it for less than a day. I used it while I slept overnight, and then I used it while I was at work. So maybe 16 hours, I made 52 cents. So that's not significant at all. If I did that for an entire month, I will have made about $15. And I'm not even sure that's enough to pay for the electricity that it would take to run my laptop all day, every day for a month. So I'm probably not going to continue using that. The reason why I even felt like bringing this up is because it introduced me to a whole bunch of new algorithms, and I didn't realize that this mining software was actually going to allow you to mine a whole bunch of different currencies at once. So it's pretty interesting. I guess the way it works is someone somewhere um, wants to mine a certain coin, but they don't have enough processing power. Their GPU is not strong enough, or they just want more processing power for whatever reason. So they buy it from you. So essentially, you're not really mining by using the NiceHash miner software. You are lending or selling your processing power to someone else who is mining, and they're profiting and you're profiting, and the NiceHash takes a cut as well. So I think the reason why it's not all that profitable is because there's three different parties taking a cut there. There's you lending your GPU power, the miner who still has to make their profit, right? And the NiceHash, I mean, they set this all up. They deserve to make a profit too. But there's three people contending for the same profit, so it splits it in three. And I think that's why it's not all that profitable. Now, I'm on a laptop. This is not a fancy computer that I'm using at all. If you have a or a more powerful GPU, maybe it would be more profitable for you. So it might still be worth looking into. But like I said, it introduced me to a whole bunch of new algorithms like Blake 2S. I mean, I just started looking into this stuff. I don't really know what it is. Actually, you know what? I think I have that up somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Blake 2S. It's used for mining Neva coin. Don't know what that is. Netco coin. Don't know what that is. Verge. I actually hold some Verge. I like the Verge project, so that's pretty cool. And others. So I mean that's pretty cool. I'm mining Verge. Didn't even know it. And what else? The Equihash. If I'm mining Equihash, I'm pretty sure that means or if I'm cracking the Equihash algorithm, that means I'm essentially helping someone else mine Zcash because I think that's the only other coin that uses the Equihash algorithm. Bitcoin Gold does as well, or it will, but I don't think that the code that will allow people to mine it, I don't think it'll be released until November 1st. So as of now, I think that means you're mining Zcash. But and then the Lyra 2, that would be Vertcoin actually. If you're cracking the Lyra 2 algorithm, you're mining Vertcoin. So it ties it right back into Vertcoin, right? Pretty interesting. Anyways, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this stream. Going to move on over to the Crypto Answers channel, get it set up over there, and then go some more. And I should go a little bit more in depth into these same topics on that channel. And then here in a couple days, we'll be bringing you some other videos on. I'll probably make a video on atomic swaps. I'll make a video on Vertcoin. At least that's the plan. And then we have another video. It's almost at completion, where we talk about a very, very promising ICO. I'm not going to give away the name just yet because need to finalize some things with the developers, the team that we've been talking to. But we got some pretty good videos coming up here, so make sure you, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Navigate to the Crypto Answers channel and subscribe there, and that will keep you in the loop. Thank you guys so much for your support up until now. I really appreciate it. You have made this project very, very fun and fulfilling. And I hope you have a very good day and good health and good fortune. Hang in there, guys. Peace.